Hi everyone, today's session is going to be a nice easy session. Just take it nice and easy, loosening off the body. If there's any kinks in any of the muscles, we'll just try and ease through them in this nice easy session. So if we begin on the floor in a comfortable cross-legged position, stacking the spine, tucking the chin, closing or softening the eyes, we'll just begin to breathe nice and deeply. So what you want to do is take a nice full inhale, really expanding through the stomach, the chest and the side body. And then once you get to the top, slowly begin to exhale nice and controlled. First by deflating the chest, then the side body, and then finally bringing the lower abdomen into the back body. And then once you've completely exhaled, begin to inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So we're going to do a little bit of a counting game with the breathing. So on each inhale and exhale, I'm going to start by counting to 4, and then we're slowly going to increase the duration of each movement by going up to 5, then 6, and maybe beyond, just to really slow down, increase the breathing, keeping everything nice and even. So take a nice big inhale, followed by an exhale. And then we'll begin to inhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we'll go up to 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going up to 6 this time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to 7 this time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last round, go up to 8 this time. See how you get on. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just continue to breathe nice and slowly, nice and controlled, in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, so from here, we're just going to take our legs out in front of us. We're going to keep things nice and easy today. Nothing too strenuous. So keeping the feet together, ankles together, toes pointing to the ceiling. Try and get a nice arch in your back. If you struggle with that, feel free to use a block, maybe sitting on it just to raise yourself out of your lower back, and also helps you rotate at the hip. So taking the arms up nice and tall on an inhale, and then exhale, we're going full forward, resting our stomach on our quads. maybe taking hold of whatever's available. It might be your top of your shins, it might be your ankles. If you can hook your big toes with your index and middle finger, that would be ideal, but go wherever you feel comfortable with today. If you can't rest your lower abdomen on your quads, feel free to give a slight bend in the knees, and that'll just help you keep the back nice and straight. So take a nice big inhale, and exhale, fold forward. See if you can maybe look to the floor, keeping that spine nice and straight, but mentally think about pulling the crown of your head towards your big toes. So for here, the emphasis isn't on folding down, it's about folding forward, and that will naturally let you start to fall down. Just continue to breathe nice and deeply. As you inhale, feel that intensity of the stretch expand into the back body. And then as you exhale, see if there's a little bit more space, a little bit more room to fold a little bit further forward. Okay, on an inhale, rise up to a flat back. Then what we're going to do, if it's available to you, if this is as far as you can go, feel free to remain here. Otherwise, we're going to take our fingers and we're going to scoop them under the feet, keeping the thumbs on top. We're going to splay the feet open, nice and flat, so that way we're stretching the legs a little bit differently this time. This stretch is a little bit more intense, so if you need to bend the knees a little bit more here, feel free to. Otherwise, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, fold forward again. Keeping the elbows in nice and tight, shoulders away from the ears. And just continue to breathe. Even out the breaths. And keep that emphasis on keeping a nice long torso. Okay, then from here, rise back up. And then we're going to do similar forward fold again. This time we're going to take our left leg, and we're going to place our foot into the inner thigh, really getting the heel into the back of the leg, straightening the leg out, so you should have hopefully a nice 90-degree bend between the feet. I'll lift the arms up one more time on an inhale, and then exhale, fold over that front foot this time. So this way we're getting a little bit more of an intense stretch into one leg, and we want to be peeling that back thigh down, really grounding the bum muscles into the ground, opening up that inner thigh. See if you can keep both shoulders even, if that's available to you. Keep the toes engaged. And then on an inhale, rise up. Just going to swap onto the other leg this time. Taking the left leg out long, taking the right leg in, nice and tight, creating a nice 90-degree bend again. On an inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale, fold over that left leg. So if you can't quite get a hold of the feet to scoop around, feel free to hold on to the shin or the ankles again, wherever you find most comfortable for this pose. This stretch will naturally be a little bit easier for those with longer arms. So if you find it a little bit of a struggle to get to where you want to be, don't worry about it. It's all about finding where you are in the moment. It's not about comparison between others. Okay, rising back up. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our right foot, keeping the left leg out long, we're going to take our right leg, we're going to bring the foot out just wider than hip width. So if I turn around here just to let you see. So leaning forward, we're just taking it right in line with the outer hip. We're then going to take our left arm, our right arm, sorry. We're going to bring it in front of the leg. From here, we're going to stretch as far forward as possible. Rotate the thumb down. If I turn back this way again, turn the thumb down, and then we're going to rotate around that knee, around that leg. And then we're going to take the left arm, stretch it forward, turn the thumb down, then rotate round the back body, taking a bind of the hands behind your back. This is too much, don't worry. If you've got a strap or an old belt or anything, feel free to grip that in both hands, and that'll allow you to still continue the bind, keeping it nice and stretched. Then we're going to take inhale, rise up nice and tall, then exhale, fold over that left leg. Continue to breathe nice and deeply. Then inhale, rise up. Then release, and we're just going to take it to the other side. So taking the left leg in, right leg out. I'm going to take the left ankle just a little bit outside of hip width, nice and a little bit wide. Front toes pointing to the ceiling. Got to take our left arm. Got to take it in front of us as far as we can go. Turning the thumb down, then rotating around that leg. Same with the right arm, taking that forward, turning the thumb down, sweeping round, taking a hold and a bind behind the body, straighten up nice and tall, and then exhale, fold forward. So again, the emphasis here isn't to roll down, it's to try and straighten the body nice and long towards the foot in front of you. And then as you do that, you'll naturally find that your body will start to sink forward. Inhaling, coming back up. And then this time, what we're going to do is we're going to take both feet together into cobbler's pose. Taking the insides of the feet, we're going to push them together, heels out wide. And then we're just going to take our thumbs, first of all, knees into our hip flexors, just digging into the hips, really pushing into opening the hips out. And we're going to take our thumbs, and we're going to take them inside the feet, and we're going to peel them open like a book. Depending on your foot flexibility, in the West we don't typically have good mobility in our feet, is you'll be able to open them wider to the point where maybe the outside of your feet can touch the ground in front of you. If not, don't worry about it. This is the purpose of this stretch, to regain that mobility again. So we're peeling it open like a book, digging the forearms down, trying to open the hips up, keeping the body nice and straight. We're just going to remain here for a little while. Just continue to breathe into the stretch. If there's anything resisting, any muscles tensing up, see if you can just ease them back. See if there's a way to release them. Just be mindful of any areas. If it feels too intense, just back away, just bring the hips back up, the knees back up a little bit. Otherwise, just continue on. Now we're going to take a nice big inhale, We're going to lean forward as far as we can go. Continue to try and open the feet out like a book, but mentally we're trying to reach forward, and maybe one day we will get to the point where we can get our nose to touch the floor in front of us. Inhaling, coming back up. And then on this next pose, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the left leg. We're going to bring this in front of us so that our knee is pointing forward and our leg is wrapped around like so. Making sure both bum muscles are firmly on the ground. And then we're going to take our right leg. Don't worry if this feels uncomfortable. We're going to wrap this over. You might need to readjust. And the focus we're trying to get is to have both knees stacked on top of each other. Now this will feel extremely uncomfortable, especially for those with tight hips, or especially around the glutes, exceedingly tight. It's an awkward place, big muscles around those. Needs a big stretch to help ease them off. So if you're here, that's fine. If you can, see if you can take the feet a little bit further apart, and that'll just intensify the stretch a little bit further. And what you want to do is ensure that both bum muscles are firmly grounded into your mat. If they're not, feel free to sit on a block or a cushion, maybe a folded up blanket, just to help raise you up, even that distribution. Sit nice and tall, again tuck the chin very slightly, just feel wherever is comfortable. Continue to breathe nice and deeply. Taking your left arm, going to take this overhead, if it's available to you, wrap it round, and taking the right arm, again only if it's available to you. If you find yourself falling out of the pose, just remain nice and flat. Otherwise, take this hand over, take a hold of that elbow, just really pull it into creating a nice tricep stretch, keeping the body nice and long. Make sure you're not stifling your breathing, you're still breathing deeply into all three parts of the torso and controlling the exhales. If you feel like you can go a little bit further, feel free to take the right hand down, wrap it around your back, and maybe take a bind behind the back. This will further increase the stretch of the tricep stretch and also create a bit of an opener in the right shoulder. Just go wherever you can today. Don't worry about going the full way if it feels too much. Remember, if anything starts to tense, any muscles start tensing, you're being counterintuitive. The purpose is to yield and let the muscles loosen. And then release the hands. Now you can either take the feet off and just rearrange them, or a little bit more of a fun way, you can raise yourself off the floor, keeping the feet where they are. We're just going to twist round, keep going round, and ideally, in an ideal world, we'll eventually come to a point where we come back to where we started, but with the feet stacking in the opposite direction. So if it doesn't, don't worry about it. It doesn't always work first time. No need to put pressure on yourself for it. You might need to rearrange a little bit. Don't worry if this side feels a little bit different to the previous side. It always typically occurs. We don't use our body evenly. Thus, one side is generally a little bit tighter, more awkward than the other side. So just remain where you are, just breathing nice and deeply. If it's available to you here, take the right arm over, take the left arm, and we're just going to create a nice tricep stretch here. Remember, don't engage this stretch and sacrifice the posture. Just go to wherever your body is capable of going today. Don't worry if you've done this stretch before and you can't today. The body reacts differently depending on the workload of the day, the stress, how much sleep you've got. There's so many factors to take into account. We're not trying to push the body. This isn't a gym workout. We're just trying to really increase the recovery in the whole body. And then for those that are available, maybe taking the left arm down, taking a bind. Just continue to breathe nice and deeply into the body. Slowly release the hands and then just release the legs. Take them out in front of you. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a loosen off if it feels good to you. And then on the mat, we're just going to come down very slowly, vertebra by vertebra. See how slow you can decrease down. Stretching out nice and long. Taking the hands overhead, stretching as far away as you can. Try and create the longest stretch you can from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Continue to breathe nice and deeply. Softening or closing the eyes. And all we're going to do is a little bit of muscle memory. So on an exhale, we're just going to lift the arm and the opposite foot up, and we're just going to touch the knee with our fingers at the end of the exhale. And then inhale, rise out. And then in the opposite direction as slowly as you can in time with the breath, taking that hand across, touching the knee. Then inhale nice and slowly, again raising everything back out. And we'll just go through this a couple of times, keeping the full body engaged. At the end of the exhale, tap the foot and slowly inhale back out. Taking the opposite hand, opposite foot. Again, tapping it out. Do this once more on each side. Okay, once you've done that, even out on both sides, just go bring the arms above our head on an inhale, and then on an exhale, lower them to our sides. And then we'll finish the pose sequence off with a little bit of Shavasana. Let the feet rest to the side, let the palms face towards the ceiling, tuck the chin slightly, take the fullest breath you've taken all day. Inhale right to the peak until you can't physically get any more in. Hold it, and then we're just going to release it all through the mouth. One more time, inhale. Fullest breath you've taken all day. Really to the brim. And then exhale. Just continue to breathe. Nice and steady. Soften or close the eyes if you haven't already. Feel free to put on some socks, maybe put a blanket on, wherever you need to be right now. Maybe dimming or switching off the lights. We'll just remain here for a couple of minutes. Okay, for those that want to remain a little longer, feel free to just remain where you are. For everyone else, just slowly make your way up to seated in a cross-legged position, whatever feels comfortable for yourself. Keeping the spine nice and long. Tucking the chin slightly, pretending there's that mannequin string pulling you up towards the ceiling. Taking your hand to wherever's comfortable, maybe on your knees, maybe into your thighs, wherever feels best for you today. Continue to breathe nice and deeply. For those that have their eyes softened or closed still, feel free to flutter the eyelids open. And thank you for joining the session today. Namaste. Hope you all have a great day ahead. We'll see you in the next video.